I give up.
What was that noise?
It does it every time I turn it on. F this thing, dude. This is our 1992 Sonoma GT, and if you don't know much about these trucks, look it up. It's basically the brother, the little less powerful brother of a GMC Cyclone and Typhoon, made by the same company that outfitted these for GMC, and we've had it for some time. So let me reintroduce you guys to our truck. This thing, for the past year and a half, has done nothing but kick our butts. We have lowered it. We've put it on some Corvette wheels, some nice Firehawk Indy 500 tires, and did a tune-up on it, and then it decided it just didn't want to idle correctly anymore. So after many different attempts to try to fix it, it still idles like this. Oh, it doesn't idle at all like that. There you go. You got it? Let's try it again.
Do it again.
It's nice and smooth for a minute. There it goes. Let me give you a rundown on what we've done to try to fix it. It started not long after a tune-up, which was just spark plug wires and oil change. And so since then I've replaced the throttle position sensor, the idle air control motor, the map sensor. We blocked off the EGR valve. That's only temporary, EPA. What else have we done? I put an ECU in it. I put a set of new battery cables on it, thinking it might be voltage. We also, I think we did a NOx sensor. We did temperature sensors. And the thing is, this is OBD1, meaning the diagnostics and stuff are not great. We could have taken it to a scanner, but I don't think it would have fixed the issue. I think we've basically got it figured out to a couple things. Since we just replaced the ECU and it's still doing it with the ECU, it's got to be either vacuum or fuel related. We're pretty confident it's fuel related, so we've ordered some parts to fix that. I've also blocked off all the vacuum passages as well to make sure that that wasn't an issue. So we're going to do a couple things today. We're going to replace the Spider fuel injector in there, which I worked with an awesome company from Texas for a reasonably priced rebuilt Spider injector. I'll show you guys that later. And while we're in there, we're going to go ahead and pull the lower intake manifold off and put a new gasket on all that, just to rule all this stuff out. So, oh man, I just realized if we do that, we're going to have to we're going to have to get into the coolant system. I didn't want to do that. I just realized that. Crap. Unless it's part of the water pump, I can't really tell. But anyway, let's pull this upper plenum off, and we'll kind of get busy, and we'll make a decision from there. Maybe we don't do the lower. What we're going to do is we're going to try to test something out here just to see if we can get an idea if we know what's going on before we pull the lower plenum off. These little poppets right here, these are little fuel injector poppets, and you can squeeze them and pull them out easily. Obviously there's 3 on each side. I guess it doesn't matter easily since we're replacing it anyway. Wow. And we're going to try to take a look at all this. We've got the coil disconnected. There's no spark, so hopefully we don't have a fire. Fire stickers are over there if you need it. But I think I'm going to go cycle the key, and Greg's going to see if he sees anything that's weird and out of line. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Maybe not.
Try now.
Anything happening?
Nothing's squirting. I wonder if there's something.
We do need to plug the coil in.
I wonder if something commands it.
Was everything just plugged in? You know, plug the coil in, maybe, and then we'll pull the rotor,
pull
the cable off. Okay, we have it. We hooked the coil wire back up and the fuel pump primed. So, ready?
Yep. Oh.
You ready?
Try again. Alright, yeah.
Do they all seem like they're firing?
They're all firing.
They are?
Yeah.
Interesting. Does it look like anything out of the ordinary?
I didn't notice anything.
Okay.
It was like...
Well, it's turning over better now than it did before with everything, the fuel going in them, so I don't know what's up with that.
Huh, that's interesting. It needs the coil.
Alright, we've elected to
Yeah, that's small.
to go ahead and pull these fuel lines off and try to see if we can't replace it while it's in the truck without removing the lower intake manifold.
There it goes.
Sweet.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Just had to go from this side to get more leverage.
Alright. Small little Torx socket that holds the retaining bolt in the back. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm looking forward to cross-threading all of this one.
Oh yeah, when we could put it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Permanent fix.
Yeah. There's that. There is the bolt. Let's not lose that.
It's the right side.
T30 Torx. Then these are supposed to come off of here somehow, which I think is this clip. Yep.
Put the bolt and the
Clip.
and the Torx into the part bin.
Pop 1. Pop 2. Literally the spider is out. There you go.
What?
Interesting. That thing is funky. Looks like it may be leaking there.
Man, this is just... Why? Is this the only vehicle they put this thing in?
I mean, the V8s were like this too, the CPI V8s until 95 or 96. And then they went to the newer spider injector, which is a little better.
I remember my dad's 89 was a throttle body injector still.
Interesting. Okay, let's show you what we're working with. The standard products, part number, where's their part number? MK11 is actually a fuel line kit. They call it a nut kit for the spider injector. So I ordered one of those from the same company that provided us with this. So I got this rebuilt unit from a company called Rebuilders Specialty Incorporated. They're actually out of Texas, which is a awesome thing for us. We're, you know, because we're Texans, we have that weird Texas pride. But what's cool is this whole unit was $179 with exchange, and it's got a brand new fuel pressure regulator on it and all new components. It's completely rebuilt, so this should do the job if that's our problem. But we're also realizing that our nut kit, which is this for the fuel line, it was very loose on the return side, which is the bigger hole. I believe it's the turn side, it might be the send side, but it was very loose back here, and if that's not a good seal, that could be a vacuum leak as well, and that thing looks nasty.
The other one.
A couple things that we're noticing is, especially on here, this thing was pretty loose. This is the either the sender return fuel line on the right side for the spider injector. But if you look at these O-rings, I don't know how well you can see on camera, but this O-ring is shrunk compared to this big dude right here, and on the same side, on the same thing on the other side. If this was leaking air, this could have been a whole big, this could have been some of our problem. However, I found things on this truck before that I thought were the problem, and they weren't. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but old nasty injector that's going to get rebuilt, and then new one with new lines and everything else, new fuel pressure regulator. This thing's ready to go. So we're gonna gamble. We're gonna put it all back together without pulling the lower intake manifold off or the distributor out and messing all that up, and we're gonna see what happens. Disclaimer though, you might see us get really mad because it does the exact same thing that it has been doing the whole time. But let's find out, and if it does that, well, we're gonna have another plan. But cross your fingers for us so that we can get this thing running and drive it again and go to Radwood.
Probably accurate.
All right, it's about an hour later, guys, and it probably doesn't look much different to you. We had an issue with the Schrader valve that came with this standard nut kit, which is probably Chinesium, and it had, where's it at? Do we have it?
Here.
Here we go. So Schrader valve has this, I think what's supposed to be an aluminum crush washer on it, and it didn't crush. So it had a big leak. I'm glad we tested the fuel system before we tried to start this. If you replace those things, test your fuel system. Hook it up to your Spider, because we also found out that these O-rings that came with the factory or the standard kit, standard as in brand and standard as in their standard kit, the O-rings are too small and we had a leak there. So we've chasing some leaks. Now we're good. So now we're gonna throw the upper plenum back on. We put our spark plug wires back on, and then we're gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out something. Let's just hope this works. So I'll catch back up with you when it's time to start the car. All right, I'm more nervous now than if we were starting a brand new project because we've touched everything on this truck. So we're gonna start it up here and pray that it works. Clear?
No. Go.
Not a good sign. I give up.
What was that noise?
It does it every time I turn it on. Fuck this thing, dude. Okay, obviously it's the next day. You can see my demeanor has changed a little bit. I'm not quite as upset because I wanted to start today off with positivity. And we're gonna do that by looking at Greg's finalized frame on Gramps and how beautiful this thing looks. We're not sure why it's so shiny compared to like the Dakota. It's the same product. We didn't really want to go for shiny, but we're gonna see if it cures over the next couple days and loses some of its sheen. You know, so yeah, the Sonoma defeated us last night. I've put every single part on this thing, and we fixed it. We fixed the damn thing today. We came out here with a fresh mind, and if you don't believe me, watch this. Idles like a kitten. I'll give you a little bit more time just to prove it. I gotta fix that. That's why I pulled it off. But anyway, yeah, okay. So I've spent probably $1,000 throwing parts at this thing. And I have to admit, let me turn this thing off so we can talk about it. I have to admit that I probably could have done a little bit more diagnosing than I did. When I stabbed its distributor, the way it was stabbed, it was maxed out in rotation. Long story short, the timing was way off. Greg had an idea this morning that said, let's pull off the, there's a brown wire underneath the dash that controls the timing. If you pull it, right, all S series have it. And if you pull it off, it allows you to set base timing. Well, we pulled it off and I found out that base timing was beyond negative.
Well, it started to idle better.
Right.
It wasn't surging.
So we knew right away,
all right,
we're finally on to something here. So yeah, we didn't do it on camera because, again, I just got defeated by this thing and I just didn't think there's anything we could do. But we set the timing. Now, I think the timing marker has moved on the balancer because you set the timing to 0 degrees. And we did that and it's still not quite happy like that. So I technically on the scope, I think I set it to 25. It's probably not correct. It's not correct by the book. But if that timing marker moved on the balancer, there's not much I can do. So we kind of did it by ear and this thing is running like a champ. I am super stoked to try to get it out on the road today, drive it, see if it acts funny or anything else like that. If it doesn't, then I'm going to take it to a cruise-in on Thursday with Greg when he comes in town. And we finally pulled one off. I don't know how, because I was ready to give up on this thing and just start ordering parts. And now I think we get it to the point where we can drive it till we get all the parts for it to do something else with it later. So we are on to something. Well, we're not in the shop, and that's a good thing, because Greg just took the Sonoma around the block. I think we still have the brake issue when it's cold. I have no idea what that is. While I'm out here, I'm gonna check my mail. I got some mail, good to know. But here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think it looks dirty AF. Well, let's go for a ride. See how it is, or at least see what Greg says. Still running. Still running.
Runs good, man.
Does it?
Yeah. Runs great.
I gotta drive it.
Yeah. Oh shit. Get in.
Or get in. Let's go for a ride. I can't believe this thing.
It actually runs pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah. No like bogging or anything.
Nice.
I took it for the loop.
Beautiful. It feels great. Feels strong.
Yeah, no, it's
All right. I don't know.
I mean it's 4.3 liter early 90s fast, but
Yeah, it's not. It feels strong. What I mean by that,
yeah,
it's like
no,
it
shifts
feels
good.
healthy. It's not misfiring.
No misfire, nothing.
You put my
The tire's a little squeaky because it's been sitting,
right.
and it may need some air pressure in it.
Oh, damn! Spun the tire.
Hear the tires
Yeah,
a little bit.
they're probably a little flat spotted from sitting for so long. All right. There you have it. We just gave the Sonoma its first bath probably in about a year, and it's very, very bittersweet because this thing has just fought me, even though it was probably my fault. I don't think it was my fault. I honestly think the balancer moved, and yeah, it just caused some timing issues because I couldn't move the distributor anymore to get it in time. It's kind of a interesting synopsis, but long story short, we're in good place because now we have it at like 25 degrees, which it shouldn't be. It should be at 0, and it loves it. There's no spark knock. It drives great, shifts great, idles great, starts great. Everything it hasn't done in 2 years. So did something move? Did something change? I don't know, because I have timed it before. I timed it when I put the distributor in. I can't say. I'm excited that it's running like it's supposed to, and we're gonna get to enjoy it and take it to RADWOOD. So plus it has all kinds of new parts on it, so it ought to be pretty reliable, and we have spare ones now if it's not, right? Because we didn't use them, right? Anyways, thanks Greg a whole bunch for coming up with the idea to unhook that timing thing, and then it just set us down the path. Sometimes you just kind of got to sleep on it. We were so frustrated last night. Went to the bar and drowned our sorrows after that long spider injector replacement. But I'm glad it's going to be very roadworthy, and that's going to be very comforting when we go to RADWOOD next month. So super duper excited, ready to take it to a car show, ready to drive it around a bit, and man, it's just awesome. It's just such a cool, neat little truck. And we're about to put our center caps on. In case you don't know, we have our Corvette wheels here with the brand new Firestone tires that I bought for this thing that maybe have 3 miles on them, but we do have a bunch of center caps. I do want to do the red and the rest of them too. Yeah. But 1, 2, 3, and then I guess we're gonna have to go with one of those.
Sand it down.
But they fit. Those are these are Typhoon / Cyclone center caps. Yeah, in fact, here's the Corvette ones to give an idea. They're exactly the same, so they fit in there, no problem. And we got a bolt kit and a O-ring kit from Sport Machines. If you're new to the channel, obviously we have all sorts of projects. We have all kind of things going on, and we just like to work on these things with you guys and show you what we're doing, and maybe give a hint or tip here and there. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you along. We just recently hit 3,500 subscribers, and that's just awesome. Each and every one of you guys that subscribe, we certainly appreciate it, and we're gonna enjoy this thing this weekend. Tomorrow is going to be Sunday Fun Day because everything else is done. So that's something really good to look forward to. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Until next time, you know the deal. Y'all be good.